My wife said, "I'm leaving you for my soulmate." I replied, "Good, move out." Then I liked her post, canceled her company cards, changed the office locks, let her soulmate pay for everything, and I just smiled because she had no idea how fast her dream life would collapse. I, 38 male, saw the post while sitting in my office at 9:00 p.m. on a Thursday. I was finishing up quarterly reports for our marketing agency when the notification popped up. My wife, Astrid, 35, had just announced to all 800 of her followers that she was leaving me for her soulmate, Ronan. The post was a masterpiece of delusion. After years of being controlled and diminished, I'm finally choosing love over convenience. Ronan sees the real me, the creative genius behind our company's success, not just the helper my husband pretends I am. Time to spread my wings. New beginnings, true love, know your worth. The comments were already flooding in. Her yoga friends congratulating her on her bravery. Her sister Desiree calling me a typical toxic male who couldn't handle a strong woman. I read it twice, then I liked it. Astrid texted me 30 seconds later. "Did you seriously just like my post about leaving you? Yeah, good for you. When are you moving out?" That's it. No begging, no asking me to reconsider. Nope. You made your choice, I respect it. She started typing and stopping for about 5 minutes. Finally, "I'll be getting my stuff tomorrow. I deserve half the business." BW, I didn't respond. Instead, I pulled up our business accounts. Here's what Astra didn't understand. The marketing agency was mine. Started it 5 years before we met. She came on as creative director after we married, a title I gave her so she'd feel important. She made social media posts and occasionally designed a flyer. I handled the clients, the contracts, the finances, everything that actually kept us afloat. But I'd been generous. Gave her company credit cards, access to the office, even let her hire her friend Ronan as a consultant 6 months ago. Funny how that worked out. By 10 p.m., I'd canceled both company credit cards in her name, changed all passwords to company accounts, removed her access from our client management system, called our building manager about changing the office locks, scheduled for 7:00 a.m. Emailed our clients a professional note about restructuring that didn't mention her. Backed up everything on our servers. Then I went home and slept like a baby. Woke up to 52 texts. The first 20 were variations of "WTF, my card declined." The rest were increasingly unhinged voice-doxed messages about how I was financially abusing her and stealing her company. The best one. "Ronan says this is illegal. You can't just cut off my income stream. Your income stream. Interesting perspective for someone who hadn't brought in a single client in 3 years. Update 1. The entitlement escalated faster than I expected. Day 1. Astrid showed up at the office with Ronan and a U-Haul. The new locks were already installed. She pounded on the door for 20 minutes while I sat inside doing actual work. Finally called the building security when she started kicking the door. "This is my office," she screamed at the security guard. "Ma'am, you're not on the lease, only Mr. Morrison." "I am Mrs. Morrison. According to your post, not for long," I called out through the door. Ronan tried to look intimidating. Hard to do when you're 5'7" and wearing a man bun. "You need to let her get her things, bro. Her things are in boxes in the lobby, everything personal. The desk, computer, and equipment belong to the company." Astrid grabbed the boxes and threw them back at the door. "I don't want my things. I want my company." Building security escorted them out. Day 2. She tried to contact our biggest client directly. Told them she was starting her own agency and they should come with her since she was the creative genius behind their campaigns. The client called me confused. "Hey, didn't Astra just post about leaving you? Why is she saying she owns your company?" Mental breakdown, I think. "I'd appreciate if you didn't engage, no worries. To be honest, we always wondered what she actually did. You're the one we deal with." Day 3. This morning, I got a call from my business banker, Mr. Morrison. "Someone tried to access your business account in person. Said she was your wife and needed emergency funds. We didn't provide any information but thought you should know. Thanks for the heads up. Also, she tried to apply for a business loan using your company's EIN. We flagged it as potential fraud. This afternoon, Astrid sent me an itemized bill. I'm not kidding. She actually invoiced me for 3 years of creative direction, $450,000. Brand development, $75,000 emotional labor, 100 lost future earnings, $500,000 total, $1,125,000. I replied with my own invoice office rent. She never paid $0 because she never had to salary she received while contributing nothing. $165,000 company credit card, personal charges, $47,832 money, paid to her consultant boyfriend, $36, $6,000. Looks like you owe me $22, $48,832. I'll take a check. She blocked my number, but the real comedy started when Ronan realized the money tree was dead. Update 2. Ronan started showing his true colors fast. According to Astrid's Instagram, yeah, she didn't block me there. Forgot I follow her from the company account. They were staying at his apartment. The aesthetic downgrade from our house to his studio was dramatic. She went from posting from our renovated kitchen to taking selfies in front of his PlayStation setup. But she kept up the facade. Love doesn't need luxury, just two souls connecting. Sure, Astrid, that's why you're holding a gas station coffee instead of your usual $8 oat milk latte. Then I got an unexpected call from Jerome, who owns the design firm next door to my office. Yo, your wife just came in here asking if we're hiring. Said she's a top-tier creative director with years of experience. What did you tell her? Asked for her portfolio. She showed me 5 Instagram posts and a flyer for a food truck. I told her we'd call her. You're not going to, are you? Hell no. But get this, her boyfriend was with her. He pulled me aside and asked if I knew anyone who needed a life coach, showed me his certificate from some online course he took last week. The job hunt wasn't going well for the power couple. Meanwhile, I was getting calls from vendors. Apparently, Astrid had been promising them future work once she took over the company. A printer called asking about the 5,000 business cards she ordered with Astrid Morrison, CEO, on them. Send her the bill, I said. She's not associated with this company, but she said you'd pay. Did she give you a purchase order, written authorization, company credit card? No. She said she'd handle payment when she officially took over next week. Then that's between you and her. The printer was not happy. Neither were the 3 other vendors she'd made similar promises to. Day 5. Astrid tried a new strategy. She filed for spousal support, claiming I'd forced her to quit her lucrative career to work for free in my company. My lawyer laughed. Actually laughed. She's been drawing a salary of $55 a year plus bonuses. I have all the pay-ups. Also, what lucrative career. Her last job before you married was part-time at a boutique. Can she get any part of the business? Premarital asset. Never commingled. She has 0 claim. She might get some temporary support, but given that she publicly announced leaving you for another man, good luck with that. Day 6. The real entertainment began. Ronan's ex-girlfriend reached out to me on Facebook. Hey, weird question, but is your soon-to-be ex dating Ronan Giles? Unfortunately, LMO, good luck to her. He still owes me $3,000. Told me he was investing it in his coaching business. Spent it on festival tickets and weed. He only dates women with money. When I cut him off, he was gone in a week. How long did that take? About as long as it took me to realize his business ventures were just him talking about manifestation while playing video games all day. I thanked her for the info. Then I did some digging. Ronan had quite the history. 3 ex-girlfriends, all of whom he'd lived with, all of whom had supported him financially. One even tried to sue him for the $15,000 he borrowed for another business venture. Forwarded everything to my lawyer just in case. Day 7. Astrid's mask slipped completely. She showed up at my house with her sister and a police officer, claiming I was keeping her from her belongings. The cop looked tired before we even started talking. "Sir, your wife says you've locked her out of her residence." "Officer, she announced on social media that she left me for another man. She's been living with him for a week. I haven't touched any of her belongings. They're all in the bedroom ready to be collected. He's lying." Astrid screeched. "He's hiding assets." "There's cash in the safe." "What safe?" I asked, genuinely confused. "The one in the office." "You mean the filing cabinet with the client contracts?" The officer sighed. "Ma'am, are there items here that belong specifically to you? The whole house?" "I decorated it. I made it a home." "But is your name on the deed?" Silence. "I let them in to get her clothes and personal items." Astrid tried to take the 65-inch TV. "That's mine," I said calmly. "We watched it together. I have the receipt from 2 years before we met." She moved to the kitchen appliances. "These are mine. I cook receipts in my email. Bought them during my bachelor days." The officer was clearly over it. "Ma'am, take your clothes and personal effects. That's it." As they were leaving, Astrid grabbed my grandmother's china from the dining room display. "Those are family heirlooms," I said. "You never even use them. Still not yours." She threw them at the wall, all of them, shattered everywhere. The officer arrested her for destruction of property. Desire screamed that I was probably abusive and drove her to this. The cop just shook his head and put Astrid in the car. Update 3. Astrid got out on bail. Ronan didn't pay it. Her parents did. She immediately went back on social media with a new narrative. I was an abusive narcissist who trapped her in a financial prison. But here's where Ronan really showed his cards. I got a DM from someone named Tamara. She sent me screenshots of Ronan on Tinder. Tinder profile said, "Single entrepreneur looking for a queen who knows her worth." The dude was actively dating while living with Astrid. But it gets better. My buddy Diego works at the fancy restaurant where Ronan took his Tinder date. Recognized him from Astrid's Instagram. Bro, it was painful. He tried to pay with a credit card that got declined 3 times. The girl ended up paying. Then he asked her if she wanted to invest in his life coaching academy. Did she? She left before dessert. Meanwhile, Astrid was spinning out. She'd applied to 12 agencies. 0 callbacks. Turns out I help my ex-husband sometimes isn't a strong resume. She started a GoFundMe claiming I'd financially ruined her. It raised $45 from her mom. Then came the Monday morning surprise. I arrived at my office to find Astrid had set up a folding table in the building's lobby with a sign, Astrid Morrison Creative Consulting, the real talent behind Morrison Marketing. She was actually trying to poach my clients as they came in. Building security was already on it, but I let her stay for a bit, watched her pitch to one of my clients who was coming for a meeting. "You know, I was the creative force, right?" He just took credit. My client looked at her, then at me, then back at her. "Didn't you design that flyer with the typo that cost us a reprint? That was the printer's fault. You spelled restaurant with an at the end. It's French-inspired." Security finally escorted her out when she started yelling that everyone was brainwashed by the patriarchy. That afternoon, I got a call from Ronan. First time he'd contacted me directly. "Hey man, we need to talk." "No, we don't. Look, Astrid's going through a tough time. Maybe you could help her out." Like a severance package or something. Why would I do that? Because you loved her once. Is this really about her? Or is this about your rent being due? Long pause. She said she was getting half the business. She lied. She said she had savings. She lied. She said, "Ronan, my dude," she lied about everything. "You thought you were getting a sugar mama. You got a leech. Now you're both leeches." Poetic, really. He hung up. That night, Astrid posted a long rant about how men intimidate women out of business ownership. Tagged me, tagged my company, tagged several business journals. My lawyer sent her a cease and desist within an hour. Final update. The ending was more pathetic than dramatic. First, the legal stuff wrapped up quick. Astrid's destruction of property charge got pleaded down to a fine and community service. The divorce was straightforward. No kids, premarital business, clear evidence of adultery. She got 2 months of temporary support at $1,200. That's it. But the real ending came from Ronan's ex, the one who'd warned me. She sent me one last screenshot. Ronan had texted her. "Hey babe, been thinking about us, made some mistakes. Wanna grab coffee? Timestamp." 3 days after Astrid's spousal support got approved for only $1,200, she forwarded it to Astrid with, "Your soulmate's looking for his next meal ticket." Astrid called me crying at 200 a.m. actually crying. Not the performative tears from before, but actual sobbing. "He's been texting other women. I know. You know, why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me?" Silence. "He asked me to add him to my bank account, said it was for our future. Did you?" I only have $3,000 left. Did you or didn't you?" "Yeah. Then you have $0 left. Check your account." Frantic typing. Then a wail that probably woke her neighbors. "How did you know?" "Because that's what Ronan does. His ex told me everything. You picked a con artist to leave me for. Congrats, can you?" "No, you didn't even let me ask. You were going to ask for money." "The answer is no, this is all your fault. If you hadn't cut me off, Astrid, you announced to the world that you were leaving me. You destroyed my grandmother's china. You tried to steal my business. You made your choices. I'll be homeless. Your parents have a house. Your sister has an apartment. You have options." Ronan changed the locks on his apartment. "That's between you two." She hung up. Posted another rant about narcissistic exes who enjoy watching women suffer. Deleted it an hour later when her mom commented, "Maybe come home and stop airing your drama online." The aftermath, Astrid moved back with her parents. Last I heard, she was working at her sister's essential oils MLM, posting about boss babe life to an increasingly smaller audience. Ronan disappeared. His Instagram went dark. Someone said he moved 2 states away to live with another woman he met online. She apparently owns a small business. Good luck to her. My business actually improved. Turns out some clients had been hesitant about Astrid's creative direction, but didn't want to offend me. Without her random pivots and typo-filled designs, we landed 3 new major accounts. I hired an actual creative director, someone with, experience and a portfolio. The difference is night and day. Jerome from next door and I grab beer sometimes. He loves telling the story about Astrid's 5 Instagram post portfolio. It's become legend in our building. My lawyer kept the cease and desist letter framed next to my divorce decree. Says it's his favorite case of the year, and yesterday something weird happened. I got a LinkedIn request from Astrid. Her profile says experienced creative visionary seeking new opportunities. Under experience, she listed CEO Morrison Marketing 2019-2024. I screenshot it, sent it to my lawyer. He replied with just laughing emojis. Then I reported the profile for false information and blocked her. Life's good now. Quiet, productive, drama-free. My business is thriving. I'm dating someone who actually has her own career. And I replaced grandmother's china with a nice new set that I actually use. To anyone dealing with an entitled ex who thinks they deserve half of something they didn't build, document everything. Don't engage with the drama. Let them spiral on their own. And remember, when someone shows you who they really are by leaving you for a soulmate they've been cheating with, believe them. Let them go. And definitely change those locks. Oh, and Astrid, since I know you still check my socials from fake accounts, Ronan's new girlfriend just posted from Cabo. Looks like he finally found his meal ticket. Wasn't you though, was.